Hey everyone, Tony George, DocSports.com. A Tuesday update. Took Monday off, took a step back, regrouped, kind of cleaned house in college basketball. Not our year in college basketball. I'm totally transparent. Just not my year in college basketball at all. We made some changes this year, and I turned around and made them back the other way. This sabermetrics and analytics and all this stuff that we're trying to adapt to an ever-changing market. Good old school handicapping back in place. That's it. One bet, one best bet a day, 4 units or higher. That's it. Not spread it around. And we're looking, that's why the windshield's bigger than the rearview mirror. Rearview mirror is smaller because what's behind you is behind you. You can only control what's in front of you. So that's what we're doing here. Going to save a little face and make a strong run here at the end of the season in the conference tournaments and March Madness, and that's what we're going to do. So we got a 4-unit best bet there today and a 4-unit best bet puck line in the NHL. This is going to be an absolute blowout. Should have made it a top play. 2-1 our last 3, I believe. Just not in the mood to do a top play, but a solid 4-unit best bet. Come Thursday, the NBA is back, as well as this week's PGA. Last week we tried the top 5, top 10s, and top 20s, and there was just players coming out of the woodwork, placing in the top 20, and the big names just fell by the wayside for the most part, including Cantlay. So this week, the Honda Classic, the Bear Trap, probably the toughest 3 closing holes on any PGA course in the country. And it's going to be a little windy down there, too, which is going to wreak havoc on that field a little bit. But we'll be ready. We're working on them right now. We're going to go back to daily head-to-heads on Thursday, so we'll be looking for that. Now, let's talk about some games here. We're handicapping a lot of games and looking at a lot of games, but we're only taking one. And that's going to be the best bet on the board, and that's it. And putting a lot more optics into it than I am sabermetrics and analytics now, because I've seen enough basketball. But that being said, some games here that I kind of liked. I'm just going to shoot them out to you. You can do with them what you want. Just you can go handicap them yourself and look at them. St. Bonnie, Rhode Island, under 144 looked a little tasty. Utah State, New Mexico State, under 151 looked real tasty. That was my second choice. That was the biggest overlay I had on the board in terms of totals, meaning what the point spread is versus what the power number is on them. That was about a 6-point overlay there. Utah State, New Mexico State. Also, money line play, Yale minus around 135, 140 over Dartmouth. Just me and you having a cup of coffee, chewing the fat, that sort of thing. Big game tonight in the Big 12, the Sunflower Showdown, the Sunflower State, that's Kansas. I don't think there's any sunflowers out right now. It's an Arctic blast there. I have a daughter that lives in Kansas City. It's pretty ugly. But that being said, once again, you really want to take the home team for the most part in this series. The home team, as a matter of fact, is 23-8-2 against the spread. And Kansas State almost upset Kansas their first meeting this year. That was a 78-75 game, and Kansas State blew it like an 11 or 12-point lead. Total in this thing's around 142-ish. Scored 153 last time. Kansas is playing really solid defense, and K-State is not, which is unusual. Usually Bruce Weber, regardless of his incapacity as a head coach, to win really big games, he can, in fact, play with anybody. Just can't get over the hump for whatever reason. Offensively, what I really like, Kansas State scoring points now. They've had some big wins. They upset TCU. They beat Oklahoma State. They took Kansas down to the wire in a 3-point loss. They're catching 12.5 here. And I say that's too many. I'm going to take Kansas State plus 12.5 here for your official free play. The one thing more so than anything else. Two reasons why. Both these teams defend the perimeter very well. Kansas State only allows 27% from three-point range. And unfortunately, again, for Kansas, they're not a guard-driven team. You know, their guard play leaves a lot to be desired for a top 5, top 10 team, especially going into March Madness. You got to have good guard play or you're not going to advance even to the tournament. We'll see what Kansas does. And they're also inconsistent in scoring. What was it I saw in Scott Van Pelt, you know, Sports Center, Scott Van Pelt, Bad Beats, which I always love to watch. They featured one, I have it on my Twitter account, at TGeorgeSports. I retweeted it. Their team total was 76.5. I believe it was against Oklahoma State. And with over 5 minutes left in the game, they had 76 points, and they never scored another point. And that's one thing that Kansas does. They go in scoring droughts. So to lay 12.5 in an in-state rivalry with a team in Kansas State that has proven in big games they can hang tough with anybody. They can't win most of them, but they're just a pesky little team in an in-state rivalry. I'll take the 12.5 at K-State tonight for your free pick.